Okay, let's start. And for the ones that do not know me, please let me introduce myself. I am Jasmani. I will be your teacher for this practice session. So I hope everybody has a good time with me, and the same goes to me. Okay. I hope everybody understands. I hope everybody will be able to pass the TOEFL test that you're going to take in the future. Okay, guys. Today we're going to practice with speaking 2 and 3. Okay. Two questions that you are going to encounter in the speaking section of the TOEFL test. So I hope you are ready. Okay, guys? Let's wait a couple of minutes, as I told you, and then we will start. Okay, I think we're gonna start. So let me first check the attendance. Okay, as soon as you hear your name, please answer present. Let's see. Cabrera Segarra Nathaniel, not here. Gomez Choque Freddy Felix, not here. Hoyos Mauricio, not here. Montes de la Oca Machicao.
Here.
Okay, thank you. Oliveira Flavia, not here. Urbina Andrea.
Present, present.
Okay, thank you. Now let's move on to the next course. It is the last one. Here it is. Let's see. Here we have 6 people. 5 people, sorry. Castillo Mayra. Not here. De los Ríos Ramírez Daniela.
Here.
Okay. Espinosa Vargas Araceli.
Present.
Espinosa Vargas Melanie.
Present.
Morales Ugarte Boni. Not here. We are 5 in total. Okay, thank you. Let's start then, guys. We're going to practice with speaking 2 and speaking 3. Now, can anybody tell me what is speaking 2 and speaking 3 about? Guys, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes. When you have a reading and a listening, both to speak, so to summarize and speak about it.
Okay, thank you. What about the rest? Can you tell me what is speaking 2 about? Let's start with the speaking 2 first.
I think it's about a change a university or a student is proposing.
Okay, that's it. So let's see, okay, what is speaking 2 and 3 about? Well, in these two activities, you will have to test your reading and listening skills, okay? First, you're going to read a passage from 75 to 100 words, and then you will hear or listen to a listening passage. That's it. From 60 seconds to 80 seconds and a total of 150 and 180 words. That's it. How much time do you have for speaking? You will have 1 minute and a half, 30 seconds to get ready and 60 seconds to speak. That's it. What else? What to do? What do you have to do in this case? You have to read a passage, then listen to a recording related to that passage, and finally you have to speak out your answer. That's the idea. This is a belief that I have. When speaking, guys, the knowledge of the language in general is really important, okay? 35%. And the vocabulary, specifically the vocabulary that you know from language, is really important as well. So consider working on both whenever you can, okay? And as much as you can. In that way, you will succeed, okay? So please consider this chart at the moment of speaking. Let's move on. Suggestions for speaking two. In speaking two, guys, you will first read an announcement, okay? Or maybe a decision of a university. You will have to read that. Based on that, you will listen to a conversation between people who will be talking about that announcement. What do you have to say? Or how are you supposed to answer? First, please, you have to summarize the content of the announcement. What is the announcement about? You have to mention that, okay, in the first sentence of your speech. What else? After providing this, you have to state the position of the people who were talking about that announcement, okay? Maybe a woman is talking, let's say. She agrees or disagrees with the decision. You have to state that as well. Then, she agrees because and provide two reasons or arguments, okay? That will be mentioned in the recording. If it is necessary, you have to provide details, examples that the people who are talking provide in the recording, okay, guys? It is important as well. Finally, you have to end up with a neat concluding sentence. A short one, please, okay? Something like this. That is why the man thinks the library should kind of think. That's it, okay? It is just an example, but this is the way you have to do it, okay? If you follow this structure, I am really sure you will be able to answer this question the best way. Okay, guys? Is everything clear or do you have questions? Guys, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes. No, I don't have questions.
Thank you, Andrea. What about the rest?
It's okay.
No questions, teacher.
Okay, thank you. Now, we're going to practice, okay? Let's start practicing. I'm gonna give you 2 minutes to read this passage, okay? 2 minutes from now, please, you can start. Okay, guys, time's up. Did you understand everything from the reading passage? Or maybe there are words or phrases that you couldn't understand? Please tell me now.
I understand.
What about the rest, guys?
The same.
Okay,
I
I
understand.
hope so. Okay, let's see now the listening part. We're going to see the listening section now. Okay, so I hope you're ready.
Did you read the school?
Please pay attention carefully. This is the listening recording.
Now listen to students as they discuss the announcement. Did you read the school announcement?
Yeah, I think the university made a right decision. I took the evening class last quarter, and there were only a few students in the class. It seemed to be so small that nobody could get serious.
I get your point, but students can get better education. I mean, as the size of the class is small, students can have discussions and explore their fields in depth. You know, if the class is too large, the professor can't even cover the whole textbook or related materials. But if there are only a few students, the instructor might go over the chapters and materials.
That makes sense, but as you know, the lectures are given by a TA, so you might not learn from a professional in the field.
You're right. However, a TA is a graduate student who has already studied more than 2 years in graduate school, so he or she is a professional as well. Even though the TAs have less experience, they have passion toward their careers and also care about the students. Moreover, they know exactly what the students want to know because they are also students. Well, I couldn't find that kind of passion coming from professors who have taught for more than 20 years.
I see your point. I remember the TA last quarter. He tried to fill questions and he had enthusiasm in every class. Maybe it'll be better to learn from a TA in a small class.
The man expresses his opinion of the announcement. State his opinion and explain the reasons he gives for holding that opinion. Please begin speaking after the beep.
Okay, guys, did you understand the question of the passage? Or do you want me to repeat it?
Repeat, teacher.
Okay, I'm gonna repeat it for you once, okay?
The man expresses his opinion.
As in every class. Maybe
Listen carefully, this is the question, okay?
The man expresses his opinion of the announcement. State his opinion and explain the reasons he gives for holding that opinion. Please begin speaking after the beep.
Is it clear now? Guys, are you there?
Yeah, it's more clear.
Okay, thank you. Now, let's start. I'm gonna choose a person who will be speaking, okay, guys? Let's see. I don't know. Andrea, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, teacher, but I didn't understand at all the listening
Okay,
because
okay.
I get distracted for those moments.
That's too bad. It is something that doesn't have to happen, okay, when you are in the TOEFL test. So be
Yes,
careful
yes.
with that. Let's go. Diego Montes, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna give you 30 seconds to prepare your answer, okay? So I hope you're ready. 30 seconds from now on. Okay, please, Diego, your answer.
Okay, the reading passage is about the discontinue the evening classes because there are too few students and they prefer to study with an experienced faculty member. But they must reschedule their classes. The man in the lecture thinks university made the right decision because with a small class, they can have more discussions and obtain more materials. On the other hand, he thinks that the teacher or the student, the TA, could help us more and identify more with the rest.
Is that all?
Yes.
Okay, nice job. I could understand everything about what you said. Some comments, please. A concluding sentence would be perfect. Okay, maybe because of the reasons I have previously mentioned, the man in the conversation thinks in that way. Something like that. Okay, so consider adding a concluding sentence to your speech. Okay, Diego.
Okay.
That's my only comment. Good job. Let's move on to another person, please. Melanie, are you there?
Yes.
I'm gonna give you 30 seconds, okay?
Okay.
Okay, Melanie, your answer.
Okay. The university from the letter proposes the closure of the evening classes since the decrease of the students and students who cannot meet the schedule. Meanwhile, the student is in favor of this idea. First, he states that there were a few students in the classes and the classes were too small. Second, he claims that the teachers were also students and some students didn't recognize them as teachers. Thus, that's why the student is in favor of the closure of the evening classes in the university.
Is that all?
Yes.
Okay. I could understand everything. Nice organization, nice use of transitional words as well. What else can I say? Control the time, okay? That's the idea. You have 1 minute to speak, so that's it.
Okay.
You did it in 5 seconds. It is perfect. And what else? I assume that you took notes because you provided with some details and examples, and that is excellent. That's perfect. That's the way you have to answer this kind of question. Okay, guys? So please consider Melanie's answer as a model for you to follow. Okay, guys? Thank you, Melanie. Nice job. Let's move on to another person now. Daniela, are you there?
Yes.
Please, 30 seconds. Prepare your answer. Okay, Daniela, please, your answer.
Okay. The university from the letter decide to closure the evening class because the number of the student has declined, and maybe that's because they prefer to study with an experienced faculty member. Meanwhile, the student advocate this idea because he thinks that in a small class, the students can discuss their ideas, and maybe the students prefer to learn from a professional teacher, and that's uh, why he decided to be in favor with this idea. And that's all.
Okay, nice organization, I have to say. But maybe some ideas were misunderstood, okay? Be careful with that. You can take notes if you want, but in terms of organization, your speech was excellent. You provide with an explanation of the passage, of the reading passage, then you explained you stated the position of the person who was talking. Excellent job there. And maybe some reasons were missing, okay? You misunderstood some things. Okay, the man who was talking with the woman in the conversation agreed because of two reasons. One is that in a small class, students cannot participate or cannot discuss the topic the way they would want to do it, okay? And second, because probably the students consider that the professors who are in that schedule are not professional enough to teach that class, okay? But he thinks that those people are students as well, and they understand their needs and their all the things that they know, they need to know in order for the students to improve. So those were the reasons why the man agreed with the decision of the university.
Okay.
You could have said something like that. This is the order, okay? Maybe a good idea would be taking notes at the moment of listening to the recording so that you can consider those notes at the moment of organizing your ideas. Okay, Daniela?
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, thank you for participating. Let's move on to Araceli. Are you there?
Yes.
Okay, please, I'm gonna give you 30 seconds to speak. 30 seconds to prepare, please. Okay, Araceli, your answer, please.
According to the passage, the university decided to discontinue evening classes because of the decrease of the students interested. So they declined or preferred to study with other experienced faculty members. Meanwhile, the men advocate the idea since a few members of the classes in the evening are, the faculty members to teach the university students are better, and the few of the students will a little bit to get serious for the classes. So that's why the men agree with the university decision.
Is that all?
Yes.
Okay, some comments, okay? Let's see. My first comment would be that please control the nerves, okay? You were doing an amazing job at the beginning of your speech. You explained what the announcement was about. You explained, you stated the position of the man. You were starting to provide the reasons, but in that part of your speech, you got stuck. maybe because of the nerves, or maybe you wanted to add some ideas, or maybe you wanted to omit some ideas. You got confused and you were not able to transmit what you wanted. Okay, yeah? So please control the nerves. It is important. Okay, if you control the nerves, you will feel comfortable. You will feel confident with yourself at the moment of speaking, and you will do it in a better way. Okay, you were doing a great job. So I am really sure that if you control your nerves, you will be able to answer all these questions perfectly. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for participating. I think everybody has participated now. And we're going to continue practicing with this on Monday. So do not worry. I'm going to bring some extra exercises for you to practice. So I hope you are ready. And I hope you consider the structure that I told you to follow in order to answer this kind of question. Okay. This is the structure. This is the way you have to organize your ideas in order to answer this question, speaking to. Okay, guys, I hope everybody understood this part. Now, let's move on to speaking number 3. Speaking number 3 differs from speaking number 2 in 2 aspects. First, the topic, okay? The topic is academic. You will read a passage, yes, but that passage will be about an academic topic, any academic topic. So be ready to read that kind of passage, let's say. Then you will hear not a conversation, you will hear a class, a lecture about that topic from the reading. Okay, guys? Those are the main reasons or the main differences between speaking 2 and speaking 3. It is more academic, speaking 3, okay? What do you have to do in this question? First, you have to briefly summarize the content of the reading passage. You have to state the topic and the major ideas, okay, guys? You have to state the topic and the major ideas. An example, okay, let's imagine that you have read a passage about stress and how to deal with it. Then you can say, okay, the reading passage was about stress and how to deal with it. That's it. That's the only thing you have to say, okay, in this part. Then you have to get into the lecturer's presentation. You have to use a transitional word, okay? For example, now in the recording, that would be a good transition. In the recording, they mention that stress is, and you start speaking. The lecturer in the recording will provide some examples, will provide some experiences. It is a good idea to take notes on them in order to mention at the moment of speaking, okay, guys? So make sure that you give summarizing all the examples to the lecturer, okay? The lecturer provides. That is the idea, okay, guys? So I hope you consider this structure. Finally, you can conclude your sentence with a brief concluding sentence. Okay, guys? Your speech. Is everything clear? Or maybe you need some help, you have some questions? Let me know now. I am here to help you guys. This is just for practice, so do not worry. Do not be afraid of making mistakes. Try. That is the idea. Please. I am all ears. Is there any question? Any doubt? Any problem?
Teacher, in speaking 2 and 3, you're able to take notes, right?
Yes, I think you are able to take notes. You will have a piece of paper and a pen, and if you can, please take notes. It is really important. Those notes will help you a lot. Remember that you have 30 seconds to get ready. In those seconds, you can look at your notes and organize your ideas. So it would be a really good idea to take notes of what you listened. Okay, guys?
Okay.
Any other question?
Maybe can you give us a concluding sentence example, please?
Okay. Let's imagine that the question of this speaking section is something like, okay, explain what is stress and how it is related to the person who is talking in the lecture. Okay, that is the question. A nice way of concluding your speech in relation to that question would be something like, okay, stress is this, and the aspects that I mentioned previously are related to stress. That's it. It has to be a short sentence, remember that. Or maybe you can say something like, okay, because of all the reasons I have mentioned previously, the person in the lecture thinks this way. That's it. It has to be something really brief, a short sentence. Do not complicate your lives, okay? It has to be a short sentence, just to conclude what you are saying. It is important, so consider adding a concluding sentence as well, okay, guys?
Okay, thanks.
Okay, nice, thank you. Now, let's move on to practice now. It is time for you to practice. Okay, this is the reading passage that you are supposed to read. Please, 2 minutes to read this. After that, you're going to listen to the lecture about this passage. And after that, we're going to participate with the answers. Please, 2 minutes from now on. Okay, guys, thumbs up. Did you finish reading? Did you understand everything? Okay, guys, time's up. Please tell me, did you finish reading? Did you understand everything from the passage? Or maybe do you have some doubts, problems? I am here to help. Let me know.
I understand, teacher.
What about the rest?
I understand.
It's everything okay?
Okay, in that case, we can continue with the listening recording. Okay, let's go.
Unit 5, Academic, General, talk on the same topic. You will then answer sample practice.
Now,
Okay, guys, please listen carefully, okay? Do not get distracted. If you want, you can take notes. This is the reading pad. This is the listening recording. Pay attention carefully. Listen carefully, please.
now listen to a lecture about consumer's remorse.
Okay, so I'd like to give you my example of the impact of consumer's remorse. Last year, my car had broken, and what I was told by the repair person was that I had to buy a new one. Actually, having a new one for the first time in my life, I did all of the research. In all of the researching, I had a few interactions with the salesman, read the reviews on the internet, and compared the prices online and offline. You know, it was going to be my first new car. I was so excited. After purchasing the car, I was on cloud 9, just as you are when you get your new computer or when you get new jewelry you really wanted. That feeling lasted for a week or so, but as time passed, that sense of remorse, the sense of regret was rising inside. Was it the best choice? Was it the perfect time to buy the car? I was starting to regret and tried to renounce the purchase. But then I got a phone call from the car company. The salesman asked me if there was any problem and then asked if I was satisfied with my purchase. He said my car got the best car reviews of the month. The company happened to give me a call just at the moment I was starting to regret. It means they gave a call to the customer to ensure that his purchase was the best bet. I got this call monthly and I stopped regretting. After receiving their phone calls, I totally blew off my anxiety.
Describe consumer's remorse based on the lecture and how the car company dealt with this problem. Please begin speaking after the beep.
This purchase was the best bet.
Describe
I got this call monthly and I off my anxiety.
Okay, guys, now please listen to the question, okay? Based on this question, you're going to provide your answer and then your conclusion. I'm gonna help you with this conclusion, okay? Please listen carefully to this question.
Describe consumer's remorse based on the lecture and how the car company dealt with this problem. Please begin speaking after the beep.
Guys, was the question clear? Guys, are you there? Can you hear me?
No, teacher, it's not clear.
Okay, what about the rest?
Maybe the first part of the question it's not so clear. So
Okay, I'm gonna repeat it, okay?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna repeat it for you. But remember, you have to pay attention. In the TOEFL test, you will be able to listen to this question only once. So remember that. Listen carefully, please.
Off my anxiety.
This is the question.
Describe consumer's remorse based on the lecture and how the car company dealt with this problem. Please begin speaking after the beep.
Is it clear now?
Yes.
What about the rest?
yes,
Okay, guys, let's start. Let me see. Araceli, are you there?
Yes.
Please, 30 seconds to get ready, and then you will speak, okay? You can start. Okay, please. Your
Okay.
answer.
So in the passage, they explain about the remorse in buyers. That is an emotional expression where the buyer regrets a purchase after buying and eating, focusing mostly on negative things. In the lecture, the man illustrate this uh, by telling the story about buying his new car because he was very excited, but then he felt regret about it and asked for a purchase. So when the salesman asked him if everything was okay, then his anxiety stopped. So this is how the remorse act in the man.
Is that all?
Yes.
Okay, I have to say that you did a great job. You explained what the passage was about. You used a really nice transitional word. Something like, it was something like, I think, in the lecture, the person provides an experience, something like that, right? Excellent job in that case. Nice job. What else? You provide with, you explained what happened. You explained the situation of the man. And maybe the concluding sentence could have been improved in the way that you have to explain how this person feel at the moment of buying the car and how the company dealt with this feeling. Okay. In the concluding sentence, you could have said something like, okay, because of all the things I have mentioned before, the person could overcome that feeling of remorse, and the company helped him by calling him monthly. That's it. Okay, that could be a concluding sentence for the question that you had for this question, for this recording. Okay, but what you did was excellent. Nice job, Araceli. Let's move on to another person now. Please, Andrea, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Please, 30 seconds to speak. Yeah, to prepare, then to speak.
Okay.
Okay, time's up. Please, Andrea, your answer.
Okay. According to the reading passage, the reading passage is about the remorse. So that is an expression when the person feels that do an action that were wrong. So and focus on the negative item of the buy, of the item that he buy. And in the lectures, and the lecture describes the example about the person who buy his first cars and he was very excited for that. But then he starts to regret about if it was the best choice or the best moment. But finally, he understands that he was satisfied with the purchase.
Is that all?
Yes.
Okay, nice job, Andrea. You did a good job. You explained what the reading passage was about. You mentioned, you used a transitional word as well. You mentioned what happened in the lecture. You provide with an example, with a situation that happened to the man who was speaking. And you provide a really brief concluding sentence. That's it. That's the idea. That's how the man dealt with that feeling of remorse and the company helped him. That's it. Excellent job. Maybe you have to check some grammar structures, maybe past, simple past, because you are explaining that you are explaining something that happened in the past. So try to use the verbs in their past forms, okay? That's the only comment I have to say, okay?
Thank you, teacher.
Okay, now let's move on to another person, another last person to participate. Is there any volunteer or do you want me to choose? Melanie, please, 30 seconds to prepare your answer.
Okay.
Okay, Melanie, please, you can start.
According to the reading passage, customer's remorse is related to guilt and self-directed resentment felt by a customer after buying a product. In the lecture, the professor further illustrates this concept with his own example when he bought a car, and after his excitement purchasing feeling, he began to regret the buying. Nevertheless, the company called him to make sure the customer, in this case he, was satisfied with the product. That's how he overcame the feeling of guilt and self-directed resentment. In short, that is how the professor demonstrates the customer's remorse and how companies deal with it.
Is that all?
Yes.
Okay, any comment? It was excellent. Nice job, Melanie. That's the way you have to answer this kind of question, okay, guys? This is for everybody. Consider the Melanie's response as a model to follow, okay, guys? I hope you understood. Thank you very much for your response, Melanie.
Thank you.
Okay, we have time for one more participant. Is there any volunteer or do you want me to choose? One, two, three. Okay, no volunteers, then I'm gonna choose. Let's see. Daniela, are you there?
Yes.
Please, 30 seconds to prepare.
Okay.
Okay, Daniela, please, your answer.
So the lecture is about the state of remorse, who is about a feeling of guilt or resentment when people think that they did something wrong. So in their class, the professor tried to illustrate the topic with the example of him when he bought a new car, and one more month later he started to regret that decision, and the company called him and tried to explain why he chose the best decision. And that's the way that the professor tried to explain what is the state of remorse and how the companies try to fix it or deal with it. And that's all.
Nice response, I have to say. Excellent. Maybe you have to check some grammar mistakes that maybe you committed, but I am really sure you will be able to improve that part. But in general, what you said was excellent. You followed the structure that I told you. That is nice. So excellent job. Check grammar mistakes, okay, in relation to simple past and some transitional words as well. Okay, Daniela?
Okay, thanks.
Okay, guys. Now we're going to stop here then, okay? Please, on Monday, we're going to continue practicing. So please be ready to speak a lot, okay? On Monday, we're going to practice with the speaking 2 and speaking 3 exercises. I'm gonna bring some extra exercises for you to practice. So I hope you understood my instructions today in order for you to perform better on Monday, okay, guys? Before we leave, please, I would really appreciate you complete this survey, and after that, you can leave the session. Thank you for attending. Thank you for participating. See you on Monday, okay, guys? Have a nice weekend. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. See you.
Goodbye.
My teacher.
I have a
Bye,
question.
teacher.
Tell me.
While we are speaking, can we see our notes or no?
I don't think so. You will be able to see your notes the moment you have the time you have for preparing. Those 30 seconds you have, you will be able to see your notes. But at the moment of speaking, I don't think so.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Stop.